I'm going to wait for everybody to get in here because I kind of have a bit of an announcement. So while I'm waiting for folks to come in, I'm going to start pulling staples, at least the ones I can reach from these lights. Oh, because
some of the most brilliant minds in business. No, not you. Or you. You're always looking for new insights with QuickBooks Online. You use QuickBooks Payroll to pay your employees. And you send invoices with QuickBooks Payments. So you can focus on
I think I just wrecked a light. I did.
Get the full picture of
Damn it.
on one platform.
Well, these lights are now no good.
Intuit QuickBooks.
I just wrecked them.
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe. Make your browser Chrome. Choose Google Chrome for your computer.
Oh my goodness. Oh, all right. Dead. Dead. Oh, my knee. Okay. Let's pop out. Wait a minute. Pop out the chat. What's going on here? It's putting ads here that I just can't, it's making my, it's in my chat. Hey, everybody. Okay. Here's what's going on. Your AFib is acting up today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so here's what's going on, folks. I'm ordering a new computer on Friday. I'm just getting a refurbished tower. This was sold to me like a big ass computer for $700, and it was absolute crap. It started, this is not my announcement, by the way. It started great, and then some of my USB ports stopped working. The Wi-Fi, which is just a little stick he put in the back of this computer, which means it wasn't Wi-Fi capable, it doesn't work. So I have to have it plugged into the Ethernet cable. Then it stopped working my webcam. And then it stopped working. And then my software for my editing started to crash. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have been asking. I gotta get my other glasses in here. There's been a lot of people asking, when am I going to start cooking videos again, gardening videos again, canning videos again? If my computer will not let me operate my software that lets me edit, I'm stuck with live streams and shorts. And even shorts are not that great. Okay. Hi, Happy Jack. Hey, Mark. So, here's what's going on. I'm buying a refurbished tower from a company that I trust. They're called New Egg as in chicken egg, newegg.com. And I am ordering, what am I ordering? I'm going to tell you what it is here in a second. I'll pull it up. Do. God, I sounded like my cousin Linda there for a second. Okay. This item is a refurbished. The only computers that ever really did good work for me were Hewlett Packards. So this is a refurbished Hewlett Packard Pro Desk 600 G4 desktop computer. Hex core Intel IE 3.2, 32 gigabytes, DDR4 RAM, 1 terabyte solid state, Windows 11 professional, and home office PC. The only thing I can't tell is what kind of graphics, if it has a graphics card or not. Let's just look. Anyway, this thing's $349. And at this point, I don't care. Why? Because it's going to work better than the hunk of paperweight I've got sitting on my desk. So nothing's happening except live streams and shorts. Now here's the next blow. My pay is for May is absolutely garbage. And it's going to get worse. Here's the thing. I'm taking a mental health and a physical health break. Howie cleared out the garden beds. I have to wait until payday to get soil, to get a load of soil. And Howie, if he's only got 4 of the 8 heads working properly, the new ones he bought, so he's really pissed because he worked 3 days on that. But this coming weekend is also opening race weekend. Opening race weekend happens to fall on my planting weekend. Do you get it? So I've got to get dirt here. My bed's topped up with dirt. And my garden planted. And Howie's going to be at the races this weekend. Because one way or another, you know he's going to work every night this week to get that car going. So when you use zucchini and pasta, yeah, what about it? What about it? So my house is trashed. My house needs a going over. Everything, my couch cushions need to be taken off, the covers taken off and replaced with clean ones. The white and blue stripe ones for it. I've got to vacuum. The floors have to be washed. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have this little mop that has a pad on it and a squirt bottle. Okay? I don't even use the squirt bottle. I have 2 pads. I wash. I put them in a sink of soapy water. And then I just rinse them and trade them out and do that. But that's a lot of work. Okay? Sweeping's a lot of work. Vacuuming's a lot of work. You know, I'm going to be putting the garden in, and then it's going to be, you know, catch as catch can after that. But on Friday, I'm ordering the new tower and my editing software. I was going to make an extra payment on my loan this month, or this pay, but I can't do it. I can't work without tools. And I'm lost, guys. I'm completely lost. And I've had so much stuff happen to me. It's not just me, but so much stuff has gone on that it just feels like one hit after another hit after another hit after another hit. And I just sat at my sewing machine working on Briar's quilt, and I didn't go live because I want to get it to the point where I can put it together for you and then get it on the frame. But the problem is I'm so burnt out from trying to make everything work with half the tools. I've been resting my knee for a week. And I want to go out and I want to show you, do a video of all the apricot blossoms and the pear blossoms. And I want to get out and I want to dig in my dirt. But guess what? I can't. I'm afraid to walk out in the garden. If I go out just to look and I hurt my knee, then I can't plant this weekend. You know what I mean? So here's the deal. It's Monday. You may or may not get some live streams and shorts, but I've got work to do. That is just not, I've got work to do. I got a shit ton of work to do. I got floors to sweep and rugs to vacuum and I have rooms to switch. And guess what? Racing season starts this weekend, so I'm going to be really shy on help, you know? I realize that, April. I realize it's a Bev, you do you, but after 15 years, I'm making now what I started making in 2014. So 11 years. It's been in 11 years, I've come full circle and I'm only earning what I was earning. And because now here's the thing, not everybody wants to see the same stuff over and over again. All right. Not everybody wants to watch me sew from my chair. Not everybody wants to watch me sew from my table. Not everybody wants to watch me live stream. You know what I mean? I can't please everybody and I'm exhausted because I'm operating on half my power mentally and emotionally and physically, and half my power in tools. I know you're always here. Right? But it doesn't change the fact that I have to stop work so that I can get my work done, so that after the garden's in is going to be a big clean, right? Because I got to tear down my dining room. And if I get my soil on Friday, if I go to Botanics and I get a yard of garden soil, a square yard of garden soil, I'll be able to at least. But see, I don't even know if that soil is going to fly out of the back of my truck, right? Well, I'm glad you're in your garden, sweetheart. I wish I could. Until that sweet baby arrives, all that hard work will be worth it, and you won't care about your housework when you look into those sweet little eyes. Absolutely. Thank you, Grampy. I know, but it I'm at almost 160,000 subscribers, and I'm having a hard time getting 2,000 views in a day because people are sick and tired of this, of catch can live stream videos, right? Well, I can throw a tarp over it and then I have to weight it down. Do I have tires in the back of my truck? Because that would be cool. But I'm going to see. And I'm going to do my seniors, fill the buckets and dump them into the tomato beds. If nothing else, I'll get my tomatoes planted this weekend. So that's kind of what's going on. I have to take and it's really hard after 15 years to actually take time off where I'm not working, because you guys are such an integral part of my everyday life, right? So here's what's going to happen. You may not get any videos. My reading channel, I'm still going to do my reading from the armchair. And when I get my computer back, I'm going to continue to do live readings, but I'm also going to finish the Anne of Green Gables series in the book section. Thank you, Tina. Hey, Corey. So this week and possibly part of next week, don't expect anything. Don't expect anything. I want to get Briar's quilt top put together and get it on the I'll do a video of me getting it on the frame. And then I got to start on my nephew Mikey's quilt, but once I really can't do a lot of sweeping and mopping until after my dining room is taken outside, right? Jagmeet Singh has stepped down as NDP leader. Good. We don't want him. But you see what's happened here is, I don't want to talk politics, but I'm going to for a minute. It showed in the 1 month between the Liberals hastily elected a new leader after Trudeau stepped down, and then somehow magically after years of campaigning, when the Conservative Party was slotted to win the major majority of the seats in the House, we have this hasty 1 month campaigning election, and the Liberals actually won. It showed them, this is the Conservative and this was the Liberals, and it showed them doing this. And that's absolute unvarnished bullcrap. Well, let's do a Tommy Lee Jones. This is just all bullshit. Why? Well, he got his pension. That's all that matters, doesn't it? But the thing is, there is absolutely no way the vote can flip that hard with 1 month of a new Liberal leader. This was all rigged, and we need an investigation to go into that because there's nowhere way that Mark Carney beat Pierre Poilievre on the sole premise that give him a chance. He's not Trudeau. When he went in and kept all the same cabinet, it's not right. The election was false. It's absolute bullshit. And yes, Pierre Poilievre is once again stuck as the official opposition. But here's the problem. Here's the good news. If Pierre Poilievre will do it, because he is just below Carney in the seats of the House, if Pierre Poilievre calls a vote of non-confidence, he can get this a new election. But it's got to be done right, or else we're just going to have another shit show, welcome to the shit show, the Carney shit show, right? So, hey, Mary Jo, did I tell you, Mary Jo, that your parcel never arrived? And if it went anywhere, it went to somebody on Martindale Road, and it never got sent back, or it got sent back. But if you haven't received it, and you haven't received it back, and I haven't received it, I don't know where it is, right? So, oh, absolutely, Paula, right? Well, I feel bad. I want you to chase it down, not so you can send it to me again, but so you can get your money back. I had a pretty good Mother's Day. I woke up to Howie had cleaned out most of my beds of the junk, including my parsnips that were coming up. But that's okay. And I'm making pork chops and fried potato. Pardon me. Manners. Hey, Cali Chaos. I don't think, I'm pretty sure we don't have, no, we had early ballots. And that's another thing. I don't like the fact that when they do early voting, that they release the numbers before the final vote is done. That's stupid. Hey, Donna. Yeah, both my sons called me, and I woke up to my garden beds cleaned out. So, hey, Deborah Rosenberg, how's it going? My son and family came up from Colorado for Mother's Day. They left this morning. So sad and happy at the same time. I miss them already. Well, you know what? I'm really glad they came to visit you, Renita. I'm making beef and noodles, and I'm using leftover Italian beef. Oh, Howie's not. If I served Howie noodles, he'd walk right back out the door and go get a sub or something. Because we've had a lot of leftovers. So tonight it's fried pork chops, fried potatoes and onions, and green beans. Hey, Shashi. Jackie! Elections around the world have been rigged except for Trump getting in. Well, yeah, that was an obvious. Trump was going to get in. And Pierre Poilievre should have gotten in with that landslide. It was rigged. I'm telling you, there's got to be a reason why the liberals vote in. You know, people say, oh, Mark Carney's been around forever. Well, how come we never really even heard him until Trudeau? And he was Trudeau's financial advisor that got him in all this economic trouble. He's now been elected the leader of the Liberal Party, even though he wasn't a member of Parliament to begin with. Did you see what they did to Pierre Poilievre's riding? 91 candidates on the ballot. 91. Do you know it costs like $75,000 to run? And I'll lay money out of those 91 names, 85 of them were not even, none of the extras were running on any platform. They were just running. And I'll guarantee they were all liberals. Or the liberals put the money up for it. Because to so obviously mess with the ballots so that people are confused, elderly people, all that stuff. That ballot was that long and it had double sides. It was beyond, closer to 100. But the thing is just by confusion, Pierre Poilievre lost that riding. Just because of the sheer amount of numbers that were thrown on that ballot. They watered it down, absolutely. So if an investigation isn't run into this election, I want to talk seriously about moving to Alberta. I want to talk about moving to Alberta. Because if Alberta separates, then our country gets weaker by the moment. The Liberal Party is absolutely insane to think that they can run this country, especially when provinces are wanting to leave because the Liberal Party got in. Like, is it just me, or is this all by design? Anyway, between dog illnesses, my mother-in-law passing away, rigged elections, I just don't want to be here. I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. No, you just missed me. Well, apparently they're going to make Pierre Poilievre the premier of Alberta somehow. I don't know how they're going to do that, but We'll see. It was, but I'm telling you, this election was so obviously tampered with. Why isn't something being done? Because the liberals run the government. Bathing and grooming. I know, sweetheart, and I'm gonna get off here, and I'm going to be doing a Patreon live, and I'm gonna say, I'll see you in a while. I don't know when. If it's lives, it's lives. If it's shorts, it's shorts. But I can't work under these conditions with this computer without editing software. I can't work with my house in uproar of change. So, and I'm exhausted mentally and emotionally. Mentally and emotionally and physically exhausted to the point where just getting up out of this chair or out of my chair in the kitchen, or just emptying and unloading the dishwasher, I'm sitting down in between tasks just because of my knees. I gotta have my knees operational by the weekend. Oh, that's wonderful, Leanne. No, politicians aren't going to rule my household. I got a lot to do. And if I'm going to get back up and running, it's going to be with a new computer. And that is getting ordered on Friday, because that's when I'm going to have some money. I'm cutting my budget right down to the bare minimum so I can afford this. It's $349 and the shipping's free. So, and then I have to order my editing software, and it's going to take me a week to get everything else set up. So it could be a couple of weeks that I am offline. I mean, if I had Howie for a week, I could get all this done, but Howie's got to work too. And then he's got to race. So I don't know when shit's going to happen and when stuff's going to get done. But I need a break. I need a break. I am mentally, emotionally, and physically beat. I will. I got to go, folks. I got to go. I don't want to be bawling all over you. I have to go and finish some sewing so I can clean up I have to finish sewing all the squares on Briar's quilt so that I can clean up the dining room, or clean up the kitchen area so that I can work there, right? I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Patrons, I'll see you in about 20 minutes, okay? I love you guys. Try not to forget me, okay? Take care. God bless.